Good morning. My name is Kurt Ness, and I am one of the owners of Ness Brothers Realtors and Auctioneers. And like a lot of you this year, I try to set up resolutions. And one of my 2019 resolutions was that I was going to do a live video or blog rather for the company. Before I started, or actually got started today, I did some research. I try to do some research so I don't make a total fool of myself. And so I went out and I talked to some different individuals. One was Jack Moyer, good friend of mine, radio broadcasting background, and has done some blogs. And he suggested that I video it, then I could tweak it and stuff like that. I talked to a friend, Tim Deal, which is very analytical, and he sat down and we talked about how we would present the blog and those things. And probably the one that changed my mind the most was Dr. David Lombard. He has a blog. And he talked about the fact that when he does blogs, he started out thinking about recording it and then editing it. And a 10-minute blog took him maybe 3 hours. And it's like, I don't have that much time to spend on this. And so once I determined I was going to do a live blog, I started to think about what topic that I wanted to talk about that could be beneficial to people. We live in a changing world, and changes range from technology changes to changes that take place in our lives as we go through our life. As we get older, we come out of college, eventually maybe get married, then you have a family, then the kids grow up and they leave the nest hopefully sometime, and then you look at transitioning maybe from that 2-story down to the 1-story, and then even going to a villa. And so when I knew I wanted to do a blog, and I wanted to, I knew what I wanted to talk about. And so, when I talk about these changes, they're really, I kind of compare it to a chapter in a book. We're going from one chapter to the other. And in fact, I talked in my newsletter about these chapters, and these chapters go very well with the topic that my goal is to talk through the year on this. That is going to be something that's going to be helpful to people. So today's first blog, 2019, is just kind of telling you an overview of the topic that we're going to be talking about. The topic that we're going to be talking about is our program, one of many programs we have called our get it up there close, 55 plus relocation services. I'm not going to go into a lot of what it deals with. In fact, if you go to the website and you see I spent a lot of money on props here, I've got to get that straight, 55 plus relocationservices.com. It's going to tell you more of what is involved with this. But when I talk about chapters in books and making changes, the 55 plus relocation services really is about making those changes or making that transition from one chapter to the next easier. So the goal of this blog is to basically give you helpful tips, whether you're downsizing, or the correct word is right sizing, or if you are dealing with a family member that has to deal with a transition, how you can make that transition easier. And that's the whole goal. Our goal is to make this easier. So I was thinking about this, and again, these are only going to be about 5 minutes long. How could I end this? And a verse came to my mind, because when we're dealing with changes, the verse that came to my mind is a verse that I believe strongly in, is Romans 8:28. And it says, in all things we know that God works for the good of those who love him, and those who have been called according to his purpose. So keep that in mind when you're going through changes. My goal is next Friday to do a 5-minute blog, and I'm going to really dive in deep on how we can help these changes be easier for you. Thank you.